Okay, that's enough. That's enough. I want to talk about the songwriting process, I guess, and more about channeling your own creativity. So what you just heard is the only instrumental part, plus some vocals, of a song I wrote around 9 months ago. And I was just playing with my guitar, and I had like plugged it into my computer. So I was kind of playing around with presets, and I went to like some really, I want to say, chunky electric guitar, or maybe even bass one. And it did not sound anything like this. Here's the original sample. And I just looped it, and suddenly so much kind of like, I want to say, anger or tension like came up in me, because it really just kind of sounds like, I want to say a bit angry, And what I notice when like I feel such emotion, that there's often something that kind of like wants to or needs to get out, And so what I did in that moment, I dropped the guitar. I was like, fuck this, And then I just grabbed my microphone and I was like, I pressed record. And I remember the first thing I said was, "Row." And like, listen to it.
Row.
And like still to this day, I'm like, what the fuck, man? What the fuck? But that was just kind of like what came out, And so then I just started like singing. I was like, I left again. Just listen to it.
I left again. I left the wind.
And it's like, after probably like 30 seconds, I kind of stopped and I was like, hang on, what's this about, And I was just listening and kind of trying to understand myself, because this is kind of the creative process that I'm talking about, is I notice that when I get into this flow, or when I accept to dive into this flow, that something will just always come up, and I can't even like, I can't really decide what it is. Like something will grab my attention, maybe, there's a lamp next to me here. I'll start singing about a lamp or the light, And obviously like in that way, there's influences on it, but a lot of it is also just like the stuff that kind of comes up. It's really hard for me to put this into words or to explain, because it's just kind of, it's just the way it is. And in that moment I realized, damn, I left again, like what exactly does it mean? Does it have like something to do with me? But I didn't really try to like overanalyze. And so in the end, what you hear, and I will put in the lyrics as well, and I'll put the song in, what you'll hear is that like the whole song is kind of about this guy leaving and kind of not taking responsibility. And what I realized kind of afterwards is, because I also double vocaled, so I made it from like two perspectives, which is hard to hear, because I suck at probably producing, or I sucked at that point at least. But it's about, two sides. I kind of want to say maybe migration, of like the people that like, the Western people that kind of are just turning their backs on just people trying to get, for example, into Europe or the States, just like generally anti-immigration currently. And then the other side of the people who are trying to migrate, who are trying to immigrate because they're looking for a better life. And I think that there was just like some political fear or just anger kind of in me that I kind of needed to get out. And currently I'm working on like a few different albums just for myself, but some of them are totally, completely just about love songs and like the beauty of life. There's a different album with much more, I want to say, stuff about society, anger about the world and stuff. There's another one which I call There Is No I in Mushroom, because there is not, more into like the psychedelic direction. But similar to the videos I make, I kind of want to inspire you, or maybe you can get something from this video, is, let everything out. Just like let it come out, see what comes up, and don't judge it, One moment I might be singing about the fucking donkeys, and in another I might be singing about, fucking donkeys, and in another I might be singing about, fucking donkeys. I think it's really important that we let come out all these different parts of ourselves. Fucking donkeys. Whether you're writing songs, whether you're like fucking donkeys, writing poetry, making an essay, drawing, whatever it is, just let it come out. And I think there's like one more thing I wanted to touch upon, which is like fucking donkeys. A lot of people feel blocked, not being able to kind of go into this process of fucking donkeys, of letting stuff come out, they feel kind of blocked. And so how do you even get there? Because I think that that's like one of the things that people might be struggling with most, of how am I even like, how can I reach that point of just like having the stuff come out of me naturally. And what I like to do is, for me, it's music, you know, and videos. But I always have one thing that happens automatically. I'll be playing the guitar and I won't even have to like think about the guitar. Many times I've written songs where no fucking clue what I was even playing. Like if I hadn't had a video of what I was doing, I couldn't reproduce that same result. So what I'm telling you is, find something that kind of feels natural already, that kind of like you stick with it. Maybe you want to write poetry and you really kind of get like calm and like just relaxed when you listen to classical music. So plug in some classical music, and then maybe this or that sound or this person walking by will remind you of a sentence, you know? Or maybe you're an artist and you like to draw and you see a certain color that you like, or a certain image pops to mind, you know? So what I'm telling you is not try to grasp this flow, because that's not how it works, but much rather let the flow grasp you. And instead of blocking out these ideas and images that, in my opinion, everybody naturally kind of has, just accept them. Accept that they're there, and if something comes to mind, wonderful. I've personally been delving more and more into, I want to say, this flow. Nowadays, usually I can't even meditate without like an entire song playing in my head that doesn't exist. So often I actually have to like stop myself and be like, you're gonna sit the meditation and then we record the song, you know? But here's a snippet of like one of the things that like just ended up being in meditation. Fucking donkeys. And another thing, the most important thing, it's not about being good, you know? It's about being you, and it's just about being as it is, you know? So even if you've never sung before and you really dislike your own voice, I would encourage you to, exactly out of that reason, start singing, you know? And hang on. Here is an audio of me singing 2 years ago.
Direct to the way of the world, the fields of truth lie there.
And here is me singing now. So, no matter if you thought that was better than 2 years ago or not, the kind of point is, you know, just do you, and you'll improve. You'll get better with time, and I think it's just wonderful to watch the process, to watch yourself grow, and to also realize, what am I even singing about? You know, what's kind of coming out of me? And usually it takes like a week, 2 weeks, a month to even understand, like, what am I even singing about? What am I even writing about? So, grateful for the creative process, grateful for everything in my life. May you be grateful for everything in your life, and thank you for tuning in. Have a wonderful day.